let's jump now to signings, ideal signings for Manchester United. Who would you have come in? Of course, there's lots of rumors. There's Jadon Sancho, rumors about him. There's rumors about Koulibaly. There's rumors about Timo Werner. But who are, let's say, the three signings that you would have come to Man United? Which positions and why?
Koulibaly is one of the top, which we would definitely need in terms of defensive. When we look at our defense right now, we've got our wing backs, we've got our Luke Shaw, we've got our Brandon Williams, which alternate between each other. They're fighting for position into a starting lineup. You've got Wan-Bissaka on the other side, but then our central mid. Now, Eric Bailly, he's just been injury prone. To me, he's still one of the most amazing, well, not the most amazing defenders, but he's got so much potential, and I love his style of play.
He's such a catastrophe, that guy. He will, he's reckless. He's reckless.
I think he was reckless. The reason why I think you're saying he was reckless, because it was the last two games after his injury that he played, and the chances that he took in the significance of the game that we played, it just made you crunch. But yet he pulled it off. And you don't pull off something like that if you're not quality. So, but the biggest problem with him is that he's injury prone. And then obviously we've got Harry Maguire, we've got Lindelof, but he's not. Lindelof is not all there, and Timothy as well is just injury prone. I haven't seen much of him play, so Ighalo would be one of the most defenders that I would definitely want. But I would look at getting one more defender, seeing that we've got mostly wing backs and our central defense is the most prone for mistakes. Second player, Jadon Sancho, brilliant. This guy from Dortmund. Actually any player that you get from Dortmund, you're getting yourself quality. This is where best youngsters go to get experience, and coming out of experience, they come in and become top players in the world. So Jadon Sancho would definitely be a good addition.
Oh, for sure.
It's and as well to push Daniel James in his position. And fight for first spot. And third, I don't know. Look, if we don't have injuries, I don't see too much of a problem in our midfield. Maybe a striker, but a full-on striker.
I agree.
But if we've got Rashford, if we keep on Ighalo, we don't need a striker.
Look, in my opinion, of course, the injury to Rashford did make it difficult, which is the reason we brought in Ighalo. It seems like Ighalo might head back to China. It looks like the team wants him back. But I think that Martial, because Rashford likes playing on the left, he likes drifting to the left. Martial needs competition because he's too inconsistent. When he's good, but there are games, or there's a series of consecutive matches where he knows he's the only striker in our team, so regardless of how he plays, he's gonna start. So we need someone there to really push him and say, look, you're not untouchable. And in my opinion, we need somebody to keep Martial on the bench, so someone like Lewandowski. Somebody who is a top striker, who not only will show Martial, like, listen, you need to make sure that you are top of your game every match, otherwise you're not going to step onto the field, and somebody as well that he can learn from, because that's another important thing. There are some aspects in his game that he needs to refine, and somebody like Lewandowski will teach him that.
Definitely. But look, when we talk about Martial, when we talk about strikers, we're talking about in-out strikers and not midfielders. To me, Martial is more of a left mid. He's a left wing. He's a guy that will come from the left, and he'll come into the middle. We prone for the last season because under Ole that Ole said no, Martial is a central attacker. But when you look at his heat maps, you can see that this guy is drifting from the left going into the middle, and that is his favorite position. That is what he likes. That is what he's motivated and he's bred to do. He likes coming from the left and coming into the middle and either doing a cross or shooting or cutting a couple of defenders and taking a shot. He is not a central attacker, and let's not mistake that. Your central attackers is Rashford and Ighalo. And Rashford is your younger version where he can do the runs, he can do a counter-attacks, and when you look at Ighalo, he's like a Lukaku. He's just a box striker. Give him the ball, he's a Ibrahimovic, he's a Lukaku. Give him the ball in the box and he'll score you a goal. And he's shown it. He hasn't had enough game time, but every time he is on the pitch, he's proven that. And that is exactly what we need. So Martial is not a substitute for a central attacker. He's not a central striker.
So knowing that, okay, let's say Ighalo does head back. We are going to need somebody else to come and play. Rashford also has a tendency to drift to the left. He's even said recently that he likes playing more on the left than he does in the center. So in terms of a striker to come in, right, who do you think would be ideal? Ighalo, now we're not sure about him. He might head back. He has always been only a 6-month option for the moment, or at least when he was signed. So who would be an ideal striker that Man United can sign to do the job? Oh yes. I'd love to see him there.
He came from Dortmund. He was a top striker there. He came to Premier League, and we know that when you come to Premier League, it's a different ball game. It's a different style of playing than the playing in Germany, in Italy, in Spain. You come into Premier League where you're playing against the top 6, but then everything below that is very physical. You've got the guys that get promotion from the first division into the Premier League, and these guys are not world-class players, but these guys are physical. And this guy's just proven himself in the Premier League. You get him as a central forward, perfect substitute for Ighalo.
Yes, I'd really love to see him at Man United as well. He's, for the lack of a better word, he's too good for Arsenal. He's too good for Arsenal, and I don't think that he has been played right in his career there. He scored a lot of goals. He has scored a lot of goals for Arsenal, but it just seems like he doesn't have the quality. That's one of the big things we have now with Pogba and Bruno. They can attract strikers to Man United because who doesn't want to be fed by players like them, and at Arsenal, Aubameyang doesn't have a Bruno or Pogba who can make him the kind of pass he wants for the kinds of runs he makes. And I think that at Man United he'll be absolutely devastating. But Konrad, time is pushing forward, so one last thing before we do close up shop on this conversation. Do you think Ole is the man to take Man United forward?
No.
Who would you have in his place?
So I don't know who I'd have in his place. I'll tell you my reasoning for saying no. This guy, he came into Man United when after Mourinho, and what he basically did was given the players a free role. From being, army treated to given a free role, we saw what the team was capable, and the team was capable of basically, going 11 matches win. But now he's got two qualities, one which is a good one and one which I don't agree with. The one good quality is that he says you play for the badge. Now, if he can install that mentality into each and every single player that comes into Man United right now, that's brilliant. and
Yeah.
they must keep that.
Yeah.
They must keep that. The problem about him is that he's trying to replicate Fergie, and he's trying to replicate football in the 90s. You know, the hard football, get the ball and just attack. Tactically is where he's lacking. And we're talking about 2-3 decades later. We're in the millennium, and you need tactics. You can't go just that ruthless of getting the ball, hard passes, and attack. You need to have strategy, and we've seen that lack of strategy when it comes to the smaller games. Bigger games, you defend, do your counter-attack. He's got the right players to do that, and that's how we've dominated the big games. But when it comes to smaller games, that's where you need a bit of tactic. That's where you need a bit of change in players. And we've seen it time and again. He's got a starting lineup, and then he'll do a substitution in the last 7-8 minutes of a game. So he keeps the same players because he's stubborn enough to say that this is a team to beat, to make the win, and it doesn't happen. And thirdly, why I say that he's not in for it, it seems like not only that he's got that mentality of that 90s football and trying to replicate what Fergie did in those days, is that he's trying to get a all English squad.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's trying to impress. He must remember that United is a worldwide brand, but we are starting to see with the signings that are there, with the guys that he's keeping on board, with the likes of Phil Jones, with Jesse Lingard, with the guys that he wants to bring in. He wants to bring an all-English squad to United, and that means that he's not being versatile, and he's just got the mentality of, English players are hard and ruthless, and English players are the ones to play for United under this new philosophy.
No, I see what you're saying. I do understand, and just thinking about it, there's quite a few English players who are in the Man United side. Just off the top of my head, we've got Maguire, we've got Williams, we've got Shaw, we've got Wan-Bissaka, we've got Rashford,
Greenwood.
of course. We've got Greenwood. I totally forgot about Greenwood as well. Who,
Our
in my opinion,
Grant as well.
I think he did sign a 1-year extension. I don't even think he's ever played a first team match for Man United.
Yes. He almost did.
But yeah, I do understand what you're saying. But you know what? Nobody in the English game is going to complain. It is the Premier League. Man United is an English team. So I think that's something that would never be criticized, if that makes any sense. I think that's something that will always be welcomed, especially in England. But well, it is what it is. That's how I'd say that.
You've got two ways about it. You either go and play the philosophy of the club and put players that can play in that philosophy, or you play towards the player's strength. And the last couple of years, we were in a mix and a match between the two, because we didn't have a philosophy. We wanted to get the players, but then we want to play philosophy, what Fergie did. And this is where you need to find the balance, and that's where United needs to find the balance. Is what are we going to go forward? Are we going to be having our philosophy and play, not replicate Barcelona and Bayern, but they playing the club philosophy football, and they're getting players to play under that philosophy. And then you look at teams like PSG and Real Madrid, where you don't have philosophy, but rather you just get the players and you play according to players' strength. And United being a rich club as PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and City and all the others, we were in a mix and match of both, and one can't say that one is better than the other. If you look at Liverpool don't have a Real Madrid, PSG, Man City team, yet they're playing under philosophy and they're doing well. Same as Bayern and Barcelona. Obviously now they can get world-class players according to their philosophy. But if you look at PSG, Real Madrid, world-class players, and they're bringing in the results. But you can't have a mixture of both. You either choose philosophy and get the right players for their philosophy, or go for world-class players and play according to players' strength, and then when the players don't perform, replace them with new world-class players.
All right, and Konrad, with that, we're going to end our conversation here. It's been fun. I really enjoyed this. I've enjoyed having this chat, especially about Man United, because, well, it's my club, so
it's been a while.
So
now we just need the football back.
I really can't wait. Of course, there's so much going on, which is just another discussion as a whole, but there's so much going on. There's so many questions with regards to how Project Restart is going to work. Especially if there's some players who don't want to play now, they're going to forfeit matches, or they're going to be forced to play, or they're going to be fined. There's so much uncertainty. So once these things become a little bit more clear, it'll be easier for me to say, hey, let's get back into it, But for now, we can just hope that everything goes smoothly until football returns.
For now, we can watch Bundesliga.
Bundesliga will suffice. I saw that players like a Man United Liverpool target, Timo Werner, he just scored a hat-trick in Leipzig's win today at the time of this video. So I think they won 5-0 their Bundesliga game. So things like that. It's still, we still have football, so there's still something we can look forward to.
Definitely.
All right, so once again, thanks again, Konrad, for joining us. It's been a very, very fun time, and of course, we'll do this again soon.
Gabriel, it was an absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching this On The Ball video up till the end. Be sure to check out some of the other videos that is on this channel, like the show Who Would You Choose, where we put together two players, how to heist them in their positions, one who's retired and one who's current, and you of course let me know who you would pick in your team. Like the video if you did, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you know when the next video is released. I'll talk to you again soon. God bless.